Greetings YouTube, this is Toy Customizer Wake Angel 2001, bringing you part 5 of Davin's commission, Bark the Polar Bear. Now Bark the Polar Bear is half Dr. Eggman and half Storm the Albatross. That is, he will be using Storm's arms and legs and Eggman's torso. So let's get into the nitty gritty of how this figure gets made. Okay, so let's start with Dr. Eggman's torso. All of the extraneous bits like the buckles and zippers and coattails have been cut off and sanded away. This is followed by a desperate attempt to smooth over all the seams and sanding scars with some extra clay. And you might notice that Knuckles' face is just kind of glued there. You may recall when I made Zeta RO2 that I cut off Knuckles' face so that I could sculpt a more feminine looking kid in the face in its place. This is that leftover face. And it's kind of macabre the way that I just kind of stuck it on there. Of course, this means that almost the entire rest of the head had to be sculpted around it. This include Bark's hat, ears, his hair, that includes the ponytail and his sideburns, although his bangs are salvaged from an Amy Rose, and he has a scarf. All of this had to be put on in order, which makes painting it quite the hassle, in fact, because I had to make sure not to get his hair paint onto his scarf or his scarf paint onto his hair, which required lots of touch-ups because that happened. It happened quite a bit. Storm's gloves were almost a good match for Bark's, except that they had fingers, and Bark wears mittens. So I just had to sculpt over the fingers to look more like mittens, and then give it a quick paint job. Pretty much everything was already in place, except, the fingers. The shoe is a similar deal. Bark's leg is about the same length as Storm's, and the shoe is even a somewhat similar design. So quick repaint and, those are Bark's shoes. Now let's assemble him and show you what I made. I should note that there's one assembly challenge in this figure, and that is that Storm's leg pegs will not fit very well into Dr. Eggman's hip sockets. The holes in the hip sockets are just too big. So what I had to do was use some glue to make the holes narrower, and then the legs fit in pretty good. They can be pulled out easily, but you don't have to worry about them falling out while posing the legs or, having him display. So that's Bark the Polar Bear, and let's show a display that I'm pretty sure no one's seen before. The entire cast of Sonic the Fighters from the original arcade version, without Honey the Cat, because I don't have any Honey the Cats on me right now.